Did you know?
80% of consumers begin their research online when searching for a product or service. 94% of consumers will judge an organization by its digital presence. Hi, my name is Jessica Sheely, founder and CEO of GPD Creative Agency.
GPD is an award-winning creative agency that assists organizations to create meaningful and memorable digital marketing strategies. What makes GPD different? Our team of creative geniuses who are experts in digital emotional intelligence and digital storytelling, creating content that captures, connects, and closes the deal for your buyer.
Branding is not just about your company logo, fonts, or colors. It's a strategic effort to establish a desired perception of your company within the minds of potential customers.
Since 2015, GPD has supported hundreds of organizations within our global footprint through core competencies such as brand strategy, user experience and website design, and video production. In addition, GPD has collaborated with several organizations, including Fifth Third Bank and the City of Cincinnati, to provide premier digital marketing services to minority-owned businesses, further enhancing the brand presence of diverse suppliers in Ohio's ecosystem.
To learn more about our organization, be sure to visit us online at www.createwithgpd.com.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is the fourth and final part of our self-improvement strategies for entrepreneurs webinar series. I want to thank you all so much for joining us this past month. And I hope you've been able to gain some amazing tidbits from all of the things that we have shared, from self-care to spirituality to systems and organizations. And now this week, our last and final week, it's all about self-love and authenticity. So I could not think of a better person than to bring back for our third year now is Miss Tiffany Ware. I'm going to bring her to the stage and I'm going to read some of her bio, but there she is so you can see her beautiful brown face. Miss Tiffany Ware Miss Tiffany Ware is a creative and passionate entrepreneur. And those are the two words that she would use to describe herself. And I would too. She is the founder of the Brown Girls Project. She's a native of Cincinnati, Ohio, and holds a master's degree in business administration and a bachelor's degree in business communication. She is a businesswoman. Her professional experience has taken her into a vast array of industries, but her true love have always been writing, marketing, fashion, and cosmetics. She has an extensive background in all of those areas and has taken her own from the lab, to the boardroom, to busy photo shoot sets. All of those experiences have taken her to all of those places. In 2014, after some troubling conversations with many of her beauty clients, Tiffany decided to start a photo series, the Brown Girls Project, and it's basically all about celebrating the beauty of darker complexion African-American women. And the goal was to debunk European beauty standards and approach the subject of colorism in the Black community. I love that. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, welcome Miss Tiffany Ware. Yay!
Thanks for having me again. You always think about me, and I appreciate that.
Yes. Thank you so much for your willingness and your yes. Next year, we're going to keep getting better and better. I'm going to have some real sound effects for y'all after I make these phenomenal introductions. But thank you so much again. I always just want to share with the people so they know who and really so they know the greatness that is before them when the ladies come on to these virtual events. So we're back again talking about self-love and authenticity. First, let me just ask you, sis, how you been doing? What's been going on in your world? Catch us up.
It's been so much. The last year, since our last conversation, me focusing on my businesses, both of my businesses kind of took the backseat more than it normally would. You know, I've still been running both of my companies but I haven't been going as hard as I usually do because I needed to focus on my daughter. Her senior year and her being a theater kid, it was far more, I needed to be far more involved. It kind of took over my life. So now that she's gone to school and I can start back focusing the way I normally do, I have a bunch of ideas that I'm excited about introducing for both of the companies. So I'm really just getting back to that, getting back to the old businesswoman Tiff that most people know.
Yes. Well, congratulations to you. I know you are such an inspiration and have been such an encouragement to me. And I think it's so beautiful to be able to see you as an example of a mom, a businesswoman, someone who
Aw,
is just about raising her kids and putting one foot in front of the other every day. So, that's really, it applies when we talk about self-love and authenticity. It's just about bringing your whole self to life every day, just showing up
mhm.
with everything that it means to be you. And as a woman in business, that means being a mom, that means being a business owner, but it also means having to make those decisions and prioritize what will come first. And so just
Yeah, it's
yeah,
a hardcore balancing act
yes.
that you really can't explain it to people. They have to experience it. Like most moms know, just being a mom is a balancing act in and of itself. You trying to, prioritize your kids, but not lose yourself, take care of yourself. But then you throw business into it, which along with that comes the late nights and the early mornings and the networking and the conference calls and the all those things. So it's definitely a balancing act that I I would say 20 years ago I had no idea I would be able to manage things the way that I do now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I always say it's like someone asks me how I'm doing. Sometimes I'll, depending upon who it is, but those closest to me, I just say I'm just trying to juggle, just trying to keep all of the balls in the air.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
so it's definitely a balancing, juggling act. And I agree, it's something that there's no playbook for. You just have to, and the thing about it is each person's journey is different. And so there's things that you can glean from other people and you can
Mhm.
look at other people's lives, but at the end of the day you still have to bring that back to you yourself as a person and assess what works best for you and your situation. So
Absolutely.
um
Absolutely.
I've prepared some questions, but I just love, when we're talking about self love and authenticity, the beauty about it is it often just flows because it really is just a
Mhm.
conversation about being yourself as a business owner. But I guess I'll kind of shift and ask one of the questions that I thought about how to prioritize
Okay.
yourself, how to
Okay. I have
find.
notes. I have notes. So you might see me
Yes.
look down at my notes because I had
Listen,
to
I'm
really
looking
think
at
about
my
the
notes too.
question. Okay.
I'm looking at my
I had to
notes
write
too,
little
like,
pointers.
yes,
Okay.
because
I'm
we,
ready.
starting out so strong though, it's we talked about that. I alluded to it a little bit about prioritizing. Um, but how would you say when it comes to decision making about priorities and what gets the attention and what doesn't, how would you say what's your measuring tool for that?
I don't know that I really have a measuring tool other than my gut. It's like my gut and me having that self-assessment to myself, like, all right, Tiff, you're doing too much. You got to pull back. Or, Tiff, you're not going hard enough. It's time for you to push forward. I think since I've been doing it for so long, it's kind of like instinct
Mm-hmm.
for me to just be like, this needs to be what's happening right now. This is what's most important right now. And
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes, um, with both of my businesses, the core of them is to help women specifically, but not just women, most importantly women, and also women of color, feel happy, feel comfortable, feel loved in their own skin the way they see fit, right?
Mm-hmm.
From the Brown Girls Project, with that being about acceptance and self-love, and then from with glamhoarder.com, being okay with your own personal style and uniqueness. Um, for me, I think my gut, and then I pay attention to what's going on, what's trending, what's
Mm-hmm.
important to people right now. What are the topics that people are talking about? Where does the Brown Girls Project fit in there? Where does glamhoarder.com fit in there? And
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of like how I manage it, to be honest.
I love that. That was, I'm like just kind of clicking over in my mind, like, okay, I got 2 points because it was a lot to unpack there for me. And I'm like, okay, it's two things that I want to call out. What you said about prioritizing and how you assess going with your gut instinct. And I think for me, what I'm learning in my journey as I'm making this journey to the next decade of 40, I'll just put that out there. I'm not ashamed. Um, I've been learning a lot, but beyond learning a lot, I can consciously see how I'm making decisions or how I'm asking myself those questions in order to get to the decision that I'm looking for. And I think
Hmm.
it's a beautiful journey to have that awareness and to be able to pause or whatever you have to do to ask yourself the question. Like to get to that point of asking yourself a question is huge, especially with all of the distractions that we have in our day and age. I think it is become increasingly difficult to make space to pause and to think about things, to think about
Yeah,
your
because you're
business.
not supposed to pause. In the day
Mm-hmm,
and age that we live in now, you're not supposed to pause. You're supposed to go,
mm-hmm,
go, go. You got to always be going because there's somebody else coming up behind you and there's somebody else ahead of you and you want to be the first one. And that's the way we're trained, you know,
mm-hmm.
like you always have to be moving and you always have to be doing something new. And I would subscribe to that a little. I mean, I understand it. Your business always has to be evolving. We as people are always evolving, growing, but sometimes, you know, it's a rat race that you put yourself on that you don't even need to be in. Like that's not even your race.
Right. And that's all about being authentic to you. Like
Hmm.
that's all about being your authentic self, because right then and there is the moment where you stop comparing yourself to somebody else's journey and you assess what is going to work for me.
Hmm.
And I just think that's a beautiful way to think about it and to highlight for people, because like you said, in our day and age, it's not designed to pause. It's not even being designed for us to consciously think and ask questions.
Hmm.
It's more just designed on, either running on autopilot or somebody else dictating to you how things should be.
What you should
One
be
of the
doing.
other What you should be doing.
Yeah, and I
Something.
and to be honest, I've struggled with that. Like I've
Mm-hmm.
struggled with the pause. This
Mm-hmm.
year I struggled with the pause. I was like, my businesses are struggling, not struggling to like a degree where I have to shut the doors, but they haven't been prioritized because I need to prioritize my child to get her to this
Mm-hmm.
next level of where she needs to be. And I'm like, I should be doing this and I should be doing that. And I need to be doing this, and just driving myself crazy and feeling guilty because these
Mm-hmm.
businesses are like my babies, right?
Yeah.
You know, and my end goal, to be honest, is to build these businesses up to be amazing businesses and have somebody buy me out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to work. I
Mm-hmm.
want to be bought out so then I can create something else new in my leisure time. And so that's what was going on in my mind. Like, you're not getting to the place where you're scaling, where people would even look to be involved in that type of conversation. So I struggled with that a lot over this past year.
So that brings me to my other question, sis, is how do I want to phrase this? Because your businesses, and I want you to share more about the Brown Girls Project and, you know, the organization, as well as glamhoarder.com. I think your businesses, similarly to GPD, is passion, what I would call passion-based businesses. And so a lot of success is determined upon our community and the culture that we've worked to build. And those things have to be nourished. Like, that community has to be nourished. So I totally get how like those feelings of guilt would come into play, because that's something that I combat as well, feeling like I'm not communicating enough with my community or this community that I've built. So there are all things, you know, that being an entrepreneur that you go through. But for my question is, how do you, or what advice would you give for entrepreneurs who do have more passion purpose based businesses, on how to be authentic and cultivate their community? Because the Brown Girls Project community is strong. I mean, and Glam Hoarder is strong, and your community, I believe, will, even if you may not feel like you may be able to pour into your community as much as you would like to, your community is still there and riding with you. And so what are some things that you have done to work to manage prioritizing yourself while also pouring into your community that is your business?
Well, with my communities, both online and offline, I think the best thing that I could have ever done when I started these communities and made these connections was be myself. I realized that I am the it factor in both of these businesses. Yeah, people like the products that I have. They think the products that I have are great. I work very hard at curating my merchandise, my inventory, to be unique pieces that aren't in every other boutique. But I also know that people like the merchandise, but they like me more. So they like seeing my face. They like my weird personality. They feel very connected to me. They feel like my friends. I talk to them like they're my friends. They are my friends because I'm a recluse. You know, I don't really go out. I don't really go out like that. So I have genuine conversations with my customer base and with my community. Now, with the Glam Hoarder community, it's a little bit smaller, so it's much more intimate. But with the Brown Girls community, which is almost at 300,000, I have to make it my business to take some time out of every day to go answer a couple inboxes. And I let them know that it's me responding to them.
Not some AI bot, it's you.
Right. I get some inboxes on styling tips from my Glam Hoarder community. If I have the time, I make it my business to try to give tips, to go find links. There's somebody in my inbox every day. I got to go to this and I want to wear something like this. Can you find me this? And that means a lot to me, that they even consider me some sort of style authority. So I just really take care of my relationships with people. The ones that I can connect with face to face and personally, those are my biggest mouthpieces. They're my marketing. They tell their friends and they invite their friends to the community. And when I treat their friends the same way that I treat them, then they're like, oh, okay, it's true. She really is like that. So I do realize that I'm the it factor. And if I'm not involved, I can see a lull. You know, I see a lull in things. But I think because I've started it in the beginning in that genuine place, I can say to my communities like, hey, my daughter's life is kicking my butt. Like, I'm gonna be missing for a minute, but I'm here. So if you got, and they're like, oh, they're rooting me on. They're like,
Yeah.
okay, well, we miss you, but we got you. I have people who, I do have admins on the Brown Girls Project page because it's gotten so big that I need a little more eyes on it to, hit the block button. Hit the block button. I have somebody that monitors the comments for me, along with me, and then I have someone else who checks the inbox along with me to kind of, keep things going. And then I have another person that helps me find the content. And I've seen a lull in the posting because I'm not posting, and I worry about it. But the community continues to grow because I focus the content that does go up towards that market.
Yeah.
This is what they're looking for every day. This is what the Brown Girls Project is known for. So this is where they come to get their daily dose of inspiration about Black women. So for me, it's just like being myself, being honest, being human. I think it helps.
Yes. Yeah. I love that. I love that. I'm just gonna put a little seed, but I'm not gonna go all the way into the conversation because I think it's a conversation on its own. But utilizing artificial intelligence and automation, like I am a person, I'm not anti AI, but I'm also not like about to allow it to take over everything. So I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm one who likes to leverage it to help cultivate thoughts that I have or to assist in helping me move faster. So I want to make sure that I put that out there. But I think the beauty about what you said is always making sure that in some sort of fashion that your communication and how you engage with your clients still has your special touch because you are the it factor. And when you're an entrepreneur, that applies to any entrepreneur who has founded a business. You are the it factor because you literally brought an idea from your head and manifested it into existence.
Absolutely. That's why I call them brain babies. Those are my brain babies.
And yes, we want to grow and scale, but that also for me, I believe, is how you begin to find your balance as a leader when you can have other people who assist you, who are on your team, who you trust, who can help you to execute and still maintain that same brand presence, as if it had your touch on it. So that's kind of the nemesis, I guess, or the golden ticket that entrepreneurs look for, is being able to build your business and still have that essence or that touch on it as it was when you first founded it.
And the people that I have that help me in that way are people, they started out as just fans of the community. A couple of the people I've never met in person.
Wow.
There are people who were the first comment every time something was posted. Every morning I hit them with the good morning brownies photo. Good morning. Like, they were the first ones. They were having conversations, starting conversations under the threads. Some of them who like knew that I was the founder, but we weren't friends, would send me photos and articles like, hey, I was thinking about you. I thought this would be good. And it was just like, this person is dedicated without any pay.
Right.
Like, they know what I look like. They know what we look like, and they're happy to be a part of the community. And so I reached out and asked, like, hey, it's growing exponentially and I can't catch all the wild and crazy comments. I can't answer all of the inboxes. So would you consider helping? And they were like really excited to be a part of it.
An honor to be a part of it. That is so awesome. Well, we've been going, sis. I promise I wouldn't hold you for too long this evening, and I want to honor that Anything else that you know want to talk about? Because I'm one, I could talk about authenticity all night, all day.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah,
Me too. But
but
so let me look at my notes because it is something I wanted to say
okay.
about that, because we always talk about that a lot when we have our conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Um with both of my businesses being the foundation of them being about self-love and acceptance of yourself. Um and I know we talked about like the rat race and trying to keep up with whoever's doing what, and I see that in a lot of entrepreneurs. I see a lot of entrepreneurs that get caught up in the she's doing better than me or he's doing better than me, and or I'm inspired by their thing, so I'm gonna do something like it, which is a pet peeve of mine.
Mine
um,
too.
I feel like the way that I'm an idea person, just innately. I'm an idea person. I feel like I give $1 million ideas away every week. So it's not hard for me to generate creative ideas, just being a creative by default. But what I have to do is keep my blinders on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it's okay to be inspired by people, but I would feel like a fraud if what I'm selling through both of my businesses is self-love, authenticity, self-acceptance. You are perfect how you are. You can do it your way. You don't have to do it their way. And then I am inspired by other people's
Mm-hmm.
events, the way they do their marketing. Um, I would feel like a hypocrite.
Mm-hmm.
So I just always tell people, like, focus on what you want to do.
Yes.
And maybe you need to bring other people in who you trust to help you kind of hone your ideas if you're not one of these people that can, take it from conception to fruition. But I see a lot of that, and I think it makes things stagnant for you because it's not
Mm-hmm.
your original idea, it's not your original thought, it's not something that you created. And when I see that, I'm just like, I can tell where that came from because I've seen it before over
Mm-hmm.
here, and it just always makes me sad because I'm just like, wow, they just don't even realize how much they have inside themselves on their
Mm-hmm.
own.
Yes. Yes.
So for me, it's always important for me to come up with very unique opportunities, unique events, unique ways of marketing, because I can't sit there and tell you you're good enough how you are if I'm not showing it,
That's
by
right.
being good, feeling like I'm good enough how I am.
Yes. You got to practice what you preach. I get that
Yep.
a lot from people as well. You know, you're gonna find me in a signature green when I'm out and I'm handling business. And you know, people always say, you know, first they ask if it's my favorite color. Well, yeah, it is my favorite color, but beyond that, it's representative of my brand. And if
Mm-hmm.
I am in the business of branding other businesses, then it would behoove me to
Mm-hmm.
practice and to show people that I walk the talk, not just talk the
Mm-hmm.
talk.
And people
So,
who know that. People, when they
mm-hmm,
see you, they like, there's Jessica in her green, GPD.
mm-hmm,
Immediately, they think GPD. It's the same thing with Glam Hoarder. When I'm
yes,
out at a Glam Hoarder, at vending it for a Glam Hoarder event or whatever, people know I'm gonna have on a purple lipstick. My
mm-hmm,
customers know to expect a purple package. They look for purple. They get excited when they open the mailbox and they see a purple package.
yes,
They
Lord,
know, right? That's it. They know they're gonna see the Glam Hoarder glasses and purple lipstick.
yes,
That's what people gonna see, these
yes,
cat eyes and these lipsticks, and they like, oh, I got a
yes.
Glam Hoarder package.
And
So
I'm gonna have me some extra little goodies inside that I can't wait to get
right,
into.
right, right,
I'm one of them
and
people for sure.
that's good. I'm excited about that. That makes me happy. But
Yes.
it's not like I looked to see what somebody else was doing. Like, this is just me. It stems from me.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you see me, I'm gonna have on the cat eye glasses. I've been wearing cat eye glasses all my life. It's my favorite shape. I love it. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
semi retro girl, so I go. Purple lipstick has always been my favorite purple lipstick. I just made it into my brand. Um, but that was nobody else's idea, and I wish people. Not let me not say I wish people. I would love for people to understand their own power. Like you have something in you right now that
Yes.
nobody else has. You can create something right now that nobody else has thought of. And I understand being inspired by what someone else has
Mm-hmm.
done, but what are you going to do to make it yours so that it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't feel not authentic of yourself?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's my two bits.
That's a mic drop right there, sis. That is a mic drop. So good. And a message that is so needed in our society today. Just do you, just be
Mhm.
yourself. Nothing wrong with being inspired. Nothing wrong with
Absolutely
being
nothing.
inspired.
Put
But
those
it is,
blinders on,
that's
head
right.
down, focus.
Yes.
You can peek every once in a while. You got to
Yes.
know what's going on around
Yeah, you
you,
got to keep a
but
pulse on the world.
yeah, but
Yeah.
you gotta focus on what it is that you bring to the table that would excite people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, let the people know how they can contact you if you're doing any coaching sessions or how they can get some of this knowledge if they
Absolutely.
want to tap into finding what works best for them as creatives and being authentic to themselves.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of ways you can reach me, but the best ways that you can reach me is to go follow the Brown Girls Project community on Facebook. Go follow the Glam Hoarder community on Facebook. You can inbox me right there. I'm always the one that's normally answering those. Or if you want to feel a little bit more professional, you can always email me at thebrown.girls project@gmail.com. I do consulting. I help people create ideas. I help them develop their branding. It's something that I love to do. I've always loved to do it. And now I have more time. I'm an empty nester. So I have more
Yay!
time to focus on getting my businesses back to where I want and need them to be and helping other entrepreneurs
I love it.
see their own greatness.
Yes, that's beautiful. Well, thank you again, sis. I appreciate the time that you have spent with us this evening. Thank you
Always.
for saying yes to another year. I can't believe this is our third annual series, and I've
That's
already got
awesome.
some ideas coming back for next year and the year
That's
after that,
good. I'm proud of you.
2025. Huh?
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you
I'm
so
super
much.
proud of you. This
Thank
has
you
been,
so
it's
much.
always a pleasure talking to you. You know how we talk. It's
Yes.
always a pleasure
Yes.
talking to you.
Yes.
Um, but
Likewise.
you're going into this third year. This is the third year, and I'm saying next year we just gonna claim it, and we just gonna do this in person. We
That's
gonna
what
have a
I'm here
whole
for.
we gonna have a
Listen,
whole conference.
I already got it in my mind, sis. So you just spoke it into existence.
I'm gonna be there too.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you again. And that's all we got, folks. Just keep doing you, keep being authentic to who you are, and let your gut instincts and your heart lead the way. Bye.
Bye.